Guys, can I know what is happening here? It's so hot, I'm sweating. So guys, comment down below what is happening. So hot. I am. Oh my god, it's getting hotter here. Oh my god, there's a fire there. Also there. Oh my god, guys, please stop it now. Please press the subscribe button. It will make the ice fall down and melt it to water. Please help. Oh my god, it is falling down now. Yes, thank you guys. Okay, welcome guys back to Daniel Rao's channel. And today we are going to do something very different from what we do past in the channel. So you guys saw just now there was a fire there and you guys pressed the subscribe button. That's good. That make the fire stop. But I'm still guessing how did the ice cube fall there. Okay guys, can you guess the topic today? Related to the fire just now. Oh yeah guys, you're correct. We are going to critique two different news of Australia bushfire. We are also going to find the tone and mood of these two articles and compare both of the articles. Okay guys, let's see the first news. So it is a newspaper article. Let's watch it now. So this is the article that you're seeing now. It is from the company Summit News. The headline is nearly 200 people arrested across Australia for deliberately starting bushfires. Yet media and celebrities continue blame climate change. The author or the writer of this article is Paul Joseph Watson. It was published 1 month ago on 6 January 2020. Let's get into the article. The first line is talking about the authorities in Australia arrested 200 people for starting the bushfire, and the media still doesn't believe the authorities and blame on climate change. The second line is talking about how many deaths, how many homes it destroyed, how many hectares of land did it destroy, and how many animals died. So we are coming to the next part of the news. So this is the second part of the article. For the first line, the author is trying to tell that the police are blaming the premise arson that they the one who caused the bushfire. In the second line, the author is trying to tell that there is a way to control the fire, that is prescribed burning, where landowners burn off flammable ground cover in cooler months in a controlled manner so it doesn't contribute to bushfires. In the third line, the author is trying to tell there is no relationship with climate change and the bushfire. So that means the bushfire is not caused by the climate change. And finally, in the last line, the author is trying to tell that the sky of Australia looks dark. He used few figurative words like the blood red sky to describe the sky. It is like an adjective word. So this line is talking about the blood red sky and unbred air in Australia because of the raging forest fire. Thank you. So guys, that was the end of the article. Now let's move to the video from BBC News.
Now, we talk about the scale of the Australian bushfires every day. Over 20 people have been killed, hundreds of millions of animals too, more than 8 million hectares have been burnt, and there's an economic cost too. And part of that is the impact on tourism. The Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, turned to that today.
Australia is open. Australia is still a wonderful place to come and bring your family and enjoy your holidays.
He made these comments on a visit to Kangaroo Island, just off the south coast. It's a haven for wildlife and a popular tourist attraction too. And from this image, you get an idea of how extensive the devastation has been. The fires have struck twice on the island and a third of the island has been burnt. That inevitably means animals, including koalas, have been killed or badly injured. And the island is home to several endangered species, including the echidna and also the glossy-back cockatoo. Now it's feared many of these have been killed or injured, and even those animals which have survived may have lost their habitat. Now the fires on this particular island were started with lightning strikes, and they're part of a much broader problem all over Australia. As we know, the brunt of these fires has been borne by New South Wales and Victoria in the southeast, and unfortunately more hot, dry weather is forecast. Now one tactic that's being used to control the burning is this. This is a firefighter in Victoria deliberately lighting small fires in scrub that's believed to be high risk. The idea is that you reduce available fuel for when the main fires come through. Here's Katie Watson with One Farmer.
In the hills of Victoria, Farmer Chris is holding his breath. Fires have already scorched much of his land, and there's real danger that existing bushfires further north could merge and create one big mega blaze.
As the crow flies, it's probably about 70 or 80 k's. It sounds like a long way in the forest, but 2 hours and it can be upon us.
Chris says there's a simple solution. More bushland needs to be burnt in a controlled manner to stop fires getting out of hand.
It's the lack of fuel reduction burns which is causing these intense mega fires. You take away the fuel, the issue of these mega fires is gone away.
But all of that said, the authorities are clear that fuel reduction alone doesn't fix the problem. Remember, this is what Victoria's fire chief said this week.
The reality is we've had fire down the landscape here that has had burns go right through it, and it hasn't slowed it up at all. And so the emotive argument is not supported that fuel reduction burning on a large scale will fix all our problems.
And here's the Commissioner of the New South Wales Rural Fire Service.
We are not environmental bastards. We actually work through a sensible environmental regime. Our priorities are life, property and then environment ranks third. So we have streamlined processes, and I can say in any given year of all the burns that we've got ready to go, 70 or 80% are cleared, environmentally ready to go. We're just waiting for the window of opportunity.
Now, we've been putting clips of our Australia coverage on the BBC News YouTube channel, on Twitter too, and we keep getting messages from people claiming the story of these fires isn't climate change, it's arson. Here's an example of someone taking up the issue, saying it's not dozens of firebugs, it's hundreds. Climate activists are lighting fires in a desperate bid to amp up climate change fear, and we know that the hashtag arson emergency is being widely used. So let's assess this. One researcher analysed over 300 accounts using this hashtag. He found a third of them displayed highly automated and inauthentic behaviour, meaning they could be bots or trolls, and he concluded the conspiracy theories going around, including arson as the main cause of the fires, reflect an increased distrust in expertise and scepticism in the media. He says these are all major factors in disinformation. It appears that Australia has, for better or worse, entered that battlefield. Now, some of these tweets share articles like this. It's on a website called Summit News. It claims that almost 200 arsonists have been arrested. Go into the article, the figure is actually 183. But that includes minor offences like breaching a total fire ban. So that could be something like using machinery on a hot day, not deliberately lighting a fire. Police in New South Wales say the number of people actually charged with deliberately lighting a fire is not 183, but 24, and even less of them managed to start large fires. And on this subject, you could listen to the authorities in Victoria saying there's currently no intelligence to indicate that the fires in East Gippsland and the northeast, that's the worst fires in the state, have been caused by arson or any other suspicious behaviour. And it's also worth emphasising that the main issue here is hotter, drier weather. Meteorologists have long been warning the long-term trend of rising temperatures in Australia across the last century would impact bushfires, and it could be a good idea to read this from 2008, an independent report commissioned by the Australian government that proved to be remarkably accurate. It told us fire seasons will start earlier, end slightly later and generally be more intense. This effect increases over time but should be directly observable by 2020. And so it's proved, and it's that rather than arson which is driving this crisis.
what is tone? Tone is the feeling of the author or writer. So now I'm gonna tell the writer's feeling of his article. So what I think his feeling is, he is alert, conscious, and feels sad of Australia. I feel like he wants to help Australia. So now I'm gonna tell about the mood. What's mood? Mood is the feeling of the audience. So example me, I'm the audience after reading the newspaper. So what is my feeling? I feel sad and I feel like I want to help Australia. I want to share to others about this. So now let's move to the video. So for the video, the tone is the presenter. So I feel like the presenter also, he feels sad and he feels like it is his job to tell to the community. Now is the mood. The mood is me again because I watched the video. So what I feel is I also must encourage others to watch this video to know what will happen in Australia. So now I'm going to critique both news. Let's start with the newspaper article. So for the newspaper article, I think they must add more pictures and give more content, like more information to understand. And secondly, for the video, I think they must add more pictures and also give more explanation. So finally, I am going to talk about the compare and contrast. So between this video and the article, what is the difference and what is the similarities? So the similarities are they have the same topic. The differences are they are both presented in different forms and both have different ideas. Thank you.